A very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Sohan.
And this is 𝐴𝐴, and we welcome you to the Smart Power Talks 2020, hosted by the Smart Society USA. Brought to you by IEM, UEM, International Innovative Club of IEM Kolkata, Rotary International Club of Silicon Valley, IEM Toastmaster, and Business Upside.
These Power Talks are for the youth to gather knowledge and getting inspired from the Power Talkers that we have today. Our speakers, our honorable speakers of today, will be delivering amazing speeches on their life and the stories of their successes. I hope that all our audiences will enjoy these Power Talks and gather some inspiration and knowledge from these. Now, we would like to call upon Mr. Satyaji Chakravarti. He is a serial entrepreneur and has technology companies all around the world. And he is also the president of 3 NPOs globally. So let's call upon Mr. Satyaji Chakravarti.
Hi everyone, it's been a wonderful time to be able to talk to you. I am Dr. Satyaji Chakrabarti, also known as Alex Chakrabarti, and I'm a professor and director of the Institute of Engineering and Management and University of Engineering and Management. Let me tell you a small story, the story of my life, my success, my struggles, and I really hope that you all will gain a lot from my experiences. I love to teach, I love to mentor young professionals, young students. So it's been a journey so far. I'd love to talk about my life story to all of you. Let's start with the lessons from my school, which is BGKV Salt Lake. It was a very, very competitive school. My classmates were very, very competitive. And, we would just compare marks and try to work harder and harder and, read so many different textbooks, so many different reference books. And it got me to a very, very competitive spirit, I think, which is very, very important at a young age. Anyone, must have very firm, ideals, very competitive mindset. They should have very lofty ambitions. So my ambitions were formed mostly in my school days with my very competitive friends and classmates. We learned the depth of learning, that learning does not stop with classes or with books. We had a few classmates, few friends, best friends, who were so competitive. They would just, when they were playing or, even when we got punishment, they would just, take out a piece of paper and start writing. Even when there was no classes, no books, they would keep on learning. So that part of learning does not stop with the classes or with books. That got into me during my school years. And my habit of positive outlook, enthusiasm, which is a very precious commodity. I learned that, in my school days. I formed it as a habit, waking up positive every morning. Whatever happened the day, with the night, with the sleep, just forget about it. In the morning, it's a new day, sun rising, and, everything reset. New day, start your day in a very happy way. So that habit or that attitude I got during my school years, which I really count as very, very precious in my, success and later years of my life. I went to the Institute of Engineering and Management, a premier institute, and I went for master's degree in University of British Columbia, Canada. It is ranked top 21. It's absolutely a marvelous university. And from Institute of Engineering and Management and University of British Columbia, I learned that hard work has really no alternatives. Taking initiatives is absolutely worth, worth its weight in gold. And another habit I picked up during my college days and university days are a habit to do, keep backups, to do extra work, just like an insurance. Sometimes, my whole work went corrupt in my laptop, but because I had the backups, because I used to work extra, always keep that insurance mindset, always keep that extra buffer mindset, extra, backup mindset. It has always paid me rich dividends throughout my life. I learned the importance so much, so much so that, as I told you, I had, corrupt, files, and then, pen drive not working. But because I always kept online backup, all the time, hard copy backup, so it always helped me. And another thing I again learned is the importance of initiative, right? Taking initiative. Like when I was in UBC, University of British Columbia in Canada, I made contact with the Nokia senior engineering manager, and then that led to a $2 million funding for UBC from Nokia Vancouver. At that time, there was a big Nokia office in Vancouver, Canada. There was a big presence. And I noticed that this initiative is again a very precious commodity. People don't want to take initiative, apart from their coursework or apart from their, absolutely, what they're working on. But believe me, this is, an absolutely precious commodity. Throughout my life, it has just paid me rich dividends. Now, let's talk about my first job. It was in a billion-dollar multinational company. The second largest telco in Canada is called TELUS. I had an absolute marvelous learning experience from the company. It was my first job. I learned the importance of taking ownership and taking headaches for all the timelines, meeting timelines, the quality of the work. And again, I found out that taking initiatives and taking ownership, responsibility is a very, very precious commodity. I used to work with so many very highly capable colleagues, but again, this initiative taking ownership is very precious. And because I had that habit imbibed in me from my value system, from my childhood, my family, my school, my college in UBC. So I found out that, I always, stood apart from others because I used to worry about things, worry about timelines, worry about quality, worry about, how to make things easier for my colleagues, how to make things easier for my bosses, and how to get more value to shareholders, because TELUS was a public listed company, and I noticed that this attitude of me give me rich dividends, very rich dividends. My career path, my promotion path just was, amazing. Just 1 year I joined as a developer analyst. After 1 year I got promoted as a project manager 1, and then again within 2 years I got promoted as a project manager 2, and on my way to be a senior project manager. So in this short span, such promotion is absolutely impossible in North America. And when I wanted to go for a study, I got opportunity in University of Toronto, which I later could not do because of other commitments. But when I applied for a study leave to my boss, he just gave me a 2-year study leave. I wanted to resign, but he said, "Do not resign, Sat. You please, keep on with the company." Again, when I told my other colleagues, they were amazed that in North America, getting a study leave, when you want to resign, is absolutely unheard of. So, and I think that those good experiences were because of this, habit of taking initiative, taking, looking after quality, taking ownership and responsibility, taking the, pain of just to make sure everything was going all right. And I remember even my last day in TELUS, I was the last person to leave. And in the last 7 days, I worked so hard to make sure that the project manager whom I was transitioning my work to had a really good time, so that there was no strings untied. I made doubly sure, triply sure that the next project manager would have an absolutely wonderful time taking over the projects which I was managing. Another thing I learned during my days in TELUS was that the power of ideas. When I joined, I was at the bottom of the organization. And we had all these, informal meetups with the CIO and CTO, and very quickly they all knew my name. I was talking to all of them, and I was myself thinking, why this top of the organization of a billion-dollar company was listening to a kid just out of college? And it's because the power of ideas. I really realized the power of ideas are the strongest, very fierce, power. Because even though I was the bottom of the organization, a fresher, as you call it, but I had good ideas which I, was discussing with the head of the organization, and they were willing to listen, to give time to me when I spoke about ideas, and when I spoke about the projects and how to improve the projects, when I spoke about the government projects, the projects which would bring in more value to the shareholders. Okay. Now I'll talk about the lessons from Institute of Engineering Management and University of Engineering Management, right? So the lesson I learned from these great organizations are that quality rules above all. I learned the importance of unique offerings. I learned the importance of innovation. Very quickly, when I rose to a director position in these organizations and I co-founded the University of Engineering and Management, I learned that again, innovation, quality consciousness, all these are very, very precious commodities, But, because of my value system, because of my childhood, because of my school, my college, my work in Canada, I had always imbibed in me a thirst for knowledge, continuous idea generation, continuous thinking, how we can improve, how can we do this project better, how can we develop this project better, how can we give value to shareholders, how can we make the experience for users much better, much simpler, much easier. So this mindset is absolutely a precious, commodity, and I found out that, this unique offering and innovation is absolutely, a very sought after commodity throughout the world. From the Institute of Engineering and Management and from the University of Engineering Management, I went to 5 different countries and established tie-ups there. I went to USA, to Canada, to Australia, to United Kingdom, to Singapore, and everywhere I found out that innovation is absolutely, the key. Everybody was willing to, give me whatever, collaboration, whatever I needed, support, collaboration, because I was offering them innovation. I was offering them unique products. I was offering them, high quality research and learning products, right? Another thing I found out that collaboration and teamwork, are absolutely, precious to win in this world. Because without collaboration, without teamwork, without co-branding, it is very, very difficult to make a mark on one's own. But with teamwork, with collaboration, with that emotional connection with the team members, even work becomes so much better. You feel that you are interacting with your extended family members, with your friends. You develop friendship. You develop a deep personal commitment, connection, and also you develop, a deep sense of satisfaction in the work that you do. Whenever you're working with a team and collaborating with external, other brands. So I noticed that. Another thing I noticed, again, the hard way, that in entrepreneurship, there are no winners or losers. There are only survivors. And it's a cyclical world of business and of life. Because troubles keep on coming, crises keep on coming, and again, successes also keep on coming, right? Small, big success, and again, small losses, big losses. It's the whole world, and I guess the game of life. The life is cyclical, it's like sinusoidal wave. You have your ups, you have your downs, but you got to be very stable. And again, as I said, there are no winners or losers. There are only survivors in this game, in this world of business and of life. And again, another thing I learned is that time is the most precious asset. I earned a lot of money in life. I lost a lot of money in life. But believe me, what I learned is that time is the most important, most precious asset of life. And also I learned the importance of, segregating things that come to life as important and as urgent. Urgent and important are not the same. Not everything that is important is urgent. And not everything that is urgent is really important. So it's really important to delegate. The delegation in the business world is very, very important leadership skill, and the importance of saying no. Because it is very easy to become very busy in the world of business. When you especially go into a leadership role, you're going to be very, very busy unless you learn the importance of saying no, right? So delegate those responsibilities that don't absolutely need you to be there, all right? And another thing, as I said, it is very, very important to segregate in life, to understand, to prioritize what is important and what is urgent, and focus on the important things of life, all right? So I hope you had a great experience learning from my life's experience. Another thing I wanted to tell you, that with our collaborative efforts throughout the world, so many different markets opened up, which enabled me to take the brand of Institute of Engineering and Management and University of Engineering and Management to the United States, to Canada, to the United Kingdom, to Australia, to Singapore. And I have opened companies in all of these 5 countries, and we are trying to grow as a multinational. We have been partially successful, and so much success, so much more work to do, so much more to innovate, so much more quality, to look after, and so many world problems to solve, to help each other out, to help humanity, to help the community. So much more in terms of sustainability, in terms of, to help the earth, to help nature. There's so much more work to do. I hope you had a great time listening to me, to my talk, and I really enjoyed talking to all of you. And if I could, bring in a little bit of change in your life to, make you question some of your ideals, some of your thought processes, it would have been very, very fruitful for me. Thank you for inviting me. I thank the Smart Society Organization, the Smart Power Talks, and IEM, UEM, and IEM America for enabling me to talk to you. Thank you.
Mr. Chakravarti, thanks a lot for sharing with us these amazing insights of yours. Really glad that we could have you as a guest in our event. Thanks a lot, Mr. Chakravarti. Hope you have a great day. So finally, we are at the end of our session. Our speakers delivered amazing power talks and shared their life stories and their experiences and their success stories. I hope the audience and the entire youth who ever watched us today gathered some inspiration and knowledge from these power talks.
We would like to thank our amazing set of speakers. Their journeys, their stories have inspired each one of us. I would also like to thank our amazing set of audiences. Without them, this event won't be possible. Thanks a lot, each one of you. Goodbye and good night.